Happening now, the search for a missing statue in Jamestown intensifies, the latest in the investigation, plus the push to stop vaccine discrimination here in New York.
It's been a chilly one these past few days, but things will warm up through mid and into late week. I'll have the full forecast details coming up. The news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Investigators are now looking for a truck that is believed to be connected to the theft of a Jamestown statue honoring the city's Underground Railroad. Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. In a morning update, Jamestown police say a witness spotted what is believed to be the stolen statue in the back of an older model pickup truck on Saturday. The witness telling detectives they observed the statue in the bed of that pickup. Now, the truck had a wooden tailgate, with the witness describing it like a 2x10 piece of wood. The pickup was observed Saturday between noon and 3, driving on Washington Street, headed north towards Fluvanna Avenue from the area of West 6th and Washington Streets.
One motive, one theory is that this was taken for scrap, and that's probably most likely what did occur. We don't know that for sure yet, but unfortunately this piece was worth quite a bit of money for scrap metal and copper.
Now, anyone else who may have seen this truck with the statue or who may know who the truck would belong to is asked to contact Jamestown Police at 716-483-7537. The number again is 716-483-7537. The department says City Parks employees first reported the more than 500-pound copper statue stolen yesterday morning. That sculpture, which is worth up to $2,000, was brought out of winter storage last Thursday and reinstalled at the park. Well, New York's governor is proposing legislation to stop discrimination against vaccinated individuals. Governor Andrew Cuomo says the legislation would stop discrimination against those vaccinated for COVID-19. He's referring to a report in the Jewish Telegraphic Agency and other media outlets of a Sullivan County summer camp for Orthodox Jewish boys, Camp Hyken. He says they would not accept campers or staff who had been vaccinated against the virus.
I understand the anti-vaccine argument very well. We've been through this before, Dr. Zucker and I, when we mandated the measles vaccine a couple of years ago. I understand the anti-vaccine argument. In my opinion, there is no science to it. There is no science to it. You can have a theory, you can have a belief, but you can't use that to make public policy without science and without data.
Now, the governor did not lay out any timeline for when the legislation could be presented to state legislators. During the COVID-19 pandemic, he supported legislation that prevented discrimination against those who wore a mask. New York's mask mandate has been in place since April 17th of last year. Well, today the CDC will vote on whether to recommend Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine to kids 12 to 15 years old after the FDA extended its emergency use authorization late yesterday. But as Britt Conway reports, pediatricians are already prepping to get shots into arms as soon as the CDC gives the green light. And doctors say there are preparations parents can make too.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, stick.
Pfizer just got the FDA's stamp of approval to extend the emergency use authorization for its COVID-19 vaccine for kids 12 to 15 years old. The FDA calls it a significant step in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic.
It was a relatively straightforward decision. The response to the vaccine was excellent, and in fact, it was even better in the younger age group.
Now, it's up to the CDC. A vaccine advisory committee will meet Wednesday to decide whether to recommend the vaccine for that age group. Because it's the same vaccine, it's already available in a number of places. And pediatricians are prepping to get the vaccine too, making sure they have a freezer that's cold enough, training staff, and figuring out record keeping. They're also talking to parents. Childhood vaccinations have plunged since the pandemic began, and doctors say parents need to make sure their kids are up to date on all of their vaccines, knowing COVID-19 vaccines could be available by Thursday.
Getting more of our population vaccinated is critical to moving forward and past this pandemic.
Some parents are hesitant. Others are ready, grateful.
Okay, all set.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Britt, thank you. The FDA scheduled a meeting next month to talk about the COVID-19 vaccines for children under 12. Well, the road repair season is slated to get underway in the city of Jamestown later this month. The city's Public Works Department announced the long list of projects that are scheduled to occur. Officials say increased CHIPS funding from the New York State Department of Transportation is giving crews the go-ahead to scale up and continue to work on more projects this year than in years past. Specifically, the department is looking to hire additional summer labor positions. A detailed map of street projects and expected completion dates can be found on the city's website. It's jamestowny.gov/2021 streets. Now, crews say every street is evaluated on the city's Complete Streets program to see if stripped bike lanes or sharrows can be installed. Certainly, you see the road work and you think spring is on the way. Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below, or simply send us a wave. We always love to hear from you. It's great to see Ed, good to see Destiny, Lisa, Lynn, and Mario as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day out there. Well, speaking of the weather, forecaster Andrew Stevenson is standing in for Dakota this afternoon, and it was a pretty chilly start to the day out there, Andrew.
Yeah, it was a chilly one out there. It's still chilly out there right now. Downtown Jamestown, 44 degrees at the airport. We got some clouds out there, a little bit of blue sky peeking through out there, and it just has been chilly. But I do have some good news in the temperature department, and I'll give you that in a little bit. A live look at radar over the past 5 hours. We had a few rain showers move through this morning, and then now the clouds are starting to stream in. There will be peaks of sunshine out there today, but most of the rain showers should be farther off to the east, and they'll be very isolated at that. So as we take a look at the temperatures yesterday, 51 degrees was the high yesterday. The record was 86 set back in 2015. The record low was 24 set back in 1987. For the rest of the afternoon out there today, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Whoops, too far, backing up. Partly to mostly cloudy skies out there today. Temperatures will be in the upper 40s. Near the lakeshore, and now I'm messing this whole thing up. Temperatures will be in the upper 40s near the lakeshore to the low 50s inland. Isolated shower possible, a bit breezy in the afternoon, and I will have the full forecast details coming up with warmer temperatures. I haven't done this in a few months, as you can tell.
Oh, no, you're doing great, Andrew. Certainly filling in for Dakota's shoes. We appreciate it. We'll be looking forward to that full forecast in just about 10 minutes. Well, a renewed push to pass legislation that would give adult survivors of child sex abuse more time to file a lawsuit against their aggressor is now underway in Albany. It's based on the Child Victims Act. The Child Survivors Act would create a special one-year look-back window to allow people who were 18 or older when they were sexually assaulted in New York to file a lawsuit against the person who harmed them and or the negligent institution. The legislation focuses on sexual assault and harassment. New York defines sexual assault as any act of violence, either physically or verbal, in which sex is used as a weapon. The argument for the bill is that people who experience abuse are traumatized, and it often takes them years, if not decades, to come forward with what happened to them.
While we deem someone at the age of 18 to be an adult, I'm not sure if when we're talking about these horrific situations. So this legislation would give the year for an individual to come forward versus the statute of limitations in the past that the person had to come forward within that 3 to 6 year period.
Now, the legislation has been in committee since January, and the sponsors for the bill continue to push to get it to the floor for a vote. Well, the U.S. is bracing for another potential jump in gas prices following a massive cyber attack on the nation's largest fuel pipeline. A criminal group from Russia is believed to be responsible, and the Biden administration is mobilizing to increase cybersecurity. Stacey Cohen with more.
A massive cybersecurity attack could spike gas prices just as Americans hit the road for spring and summer travel. On Friday, one of America's largest pipelines was forced to shut down after a ransomware attack launched by what is believed to be a criminal group based in Russia, according to one former senior cybersecurity official.
Thus far, Colonial has told us that it has not suffered damage and can be brought back online relatively quickly, but that safety is a priority.
Much of Colonial Pipeline's system remains offline. A cybersecurity expert warns these attacks are an increasing threat not just for the global economy, but for global security as well.
The real question is, how can we be more responsive and more resilient in the face of those attacks so that the consequence doesn't impact our daily lives?
Colonial Pipeline transports nearly half of all fuel on the East Coast. The attack comes as the Biden administration is finalizing an executive order to improve the federal response to cyber attacks.
The Department of Energy is working directly with Colonial to get the pipelines back online and operating at full capacity as quickly and safely as possible.
The pipeline shutdown means gas prices may continue to rise. National averages are already nearly $3 a gallon, according to AAA, and experts warn your summer road trip may get more expensive if the pipeline shutdown persists. In Washington, I'm Stacey Cohan reporting.
Stacey, thank you. The disruption is blamed for increased gas prices, not just nationwide, but here in New York as well. Next, hear what we know about an hours-long standoff with police yesterday, and later, what Mayville residents are asked to do about their tap water. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
The George Barone Jr. Scholarship Fund is hosting its first annual Rummage and Bag Sale fundraiser. An inductee in the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, Barone managed, coached, and assisted in youth baseball for 64 years in and around the Jamestown area. 100% of proceeds generated will be donated, which will provide scholarships to graduating Southwestern Central School seniors who partake in athletics. Learn more by checking out the scholarship on Facebook and joining us for the fundraising event.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Honest John's has what you're looking for. When you want it good, we're gonna give you lots more.
From freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has what you're looking for. And now 2 great locations, East 2nd Street and Fairmount Avenue. Order takeout or delivery today online at honestjohns.pizza.
You're gonna get it good at Honest John's.
Every cookie sold in the Girl Scout Cookie Program helps girls learn lifelong lessons in people skills, decision making, money management, goal setting, and business ethics. It's amazing how much you can learn from a cookie. The Girl Scout Cookie Program. Think outside the box.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A man wanted in connection with an alleged stabbing incident was arrested following an hours-long standoff on Cowden Place in Jamestown last night. Jamestown police say 34-year-old Silk Spencer, a wanted felon, was taken into custody without incident. Police say officers approached the house at 15 West Cowden Place and say Spencer fled through the house and then barricaded himself inside the basement. Spencer, police say, told officers that he was armed and he was going to start shooting at them, going to kill them. Police then set up a perimeter and began negotiating with the man in an attempt to have him peacefully surrender. They say just before 6:30, Spencer surrendered to officers at the scene and was taken into custody without incident. Now, he was not found to have any weapons on him when he surrendered. The man approved as Chautauqua County's next Democratic election commissioner won't be able to start that job until he has the support of county Democrats following a court ruling last week. Judge Lynn Keene ruled that the county legislature will need to appoint a candidate recommended by the county Democratic Committee, and not just the Democratic county legislators. Kent was appointed by county lawmakers in March, filling the vacancy created by longtime election commissioner Norm Green's retirement. Green filed suit after his recommendation, Liz Torres, was blocked by the lawmaking body last year. She had been serving as the acting Democratic election commissioner since Green stepped down in April. She was tabbed for the role following a vote by the county's Democratic Election Committee. Now, the county's legal team is now working to determine the next steps following the court ruling. Well, it's a busy week in Washington as President Biden enters a crucial time frame for his legislative agenda. But the path to get details between the White House and Congress needs to include both Republicans and Democrats. Isabel Rosales in Washington for us with more on the push towards bipartisanship.
President Joe Biden pitching his infrastructure plan as a way to get more Americans back to work.
To make sure working people of this country get to share in the benefits of a rising economy.
On the table, a more than $2 trillion proposal. But Republicans say Biden's plan is just too big.
If we can find something that actually spends money on infrastructure, roads and bridges, imagine that, as opposed to what the Biden plan does, which is spends $1 trillion on things which have no relationship to infrastructure, we can cut a deal.
Republicans offered a counterproposal, limiting the size of the plan and slashing the costs.
The proper price tag for what most of us think of as infrastructure is about $600 to $800 billion.
To find middle ground, the president is meeting with West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, a moderate Democrat who says he will not vote with his party unless Republicans are involved in the process.
Why can't we try to make this work?
In order to work toward a compromise, President Biden will host his first White House meeting with leaders from both parties and both houses of Congress on Wednesday. The next day, he'll meet just with GOP senators.
We're open to talk about infrastructure and how to pay for it.
The White House hoping for progress by Memorial Day, but progressives want to move forward as soon as possible.
If Republicans want to come on board seriously, great. If not, we're going to do it alone.
In Washington, I'm Isabel Rosales.
Isabel, thank you. Well, the Chautauqua County Health Department is issuing a boil water advisory for those living in Mayville while work to install a new water well pump is underway. The department says the advisory starts today at 1 o'clock and will remain in effect until further notice. Residents are also asked to conserve water during the installation process. Work to install a permanent water well started Tuesday morning. The pump will replace a temporary one installed in December during the previous water contamination. Officials say the process will take around 10 hours, with the village relying exclusively on water from the water tank storage while the well is off. Now, if the contaminated water sources are used, a do not order drink will be issued. Mayville water customers will be notified as soon as sample results come back. If all goes planned, the department says that advisory will be lifted by the end of the week. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. We always love to hear from you. It's great to see Russ. Good to see Barbara and Michael as well. Hopefully you're having a good day. We appreciate you tuning in here on the live stream. And for those of you who maybe are watching us after the fact as well. Well, now let's get a full check of our weather. Forecaster Andrew Stevenson is in for Dakota this afternoon. And I think, Andrew, everybody's ready for spring out there, but I know we're not quite there yet.
Yeah, it really hasn't been feeling like spring these past few days. It's been feeling more like fall out there, especially was this past Sunday. There was some wet snow down there in Warren. I know Dakota went down there, and I was down there in Warren on Sunday for Mother's Day, and yeah, there was some wet snow mixing in. But we do have things improving through middle of the week, and I'll tell you about that coming up here in just a minute here. But first, we got storm spotter training coming up again tomorrow night. It's online from the National Weather Service in Buffalo. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. I just got done mine last week, so if you can attend yourself, it's free to attend. Just register at weather.gov/buffalo/skywarn. We always need more storm spotters. So let's talk about those improving temperatures. It's been chilly out there, and it's going to be chilly out there today. 50 degrees is around the high for today, but look at that. We begin to improve into tomorrow. Temperatures in the upper 50s. Thursday, low 60s, and how about that? We get towards the weekend, and temperatures will improve into the low to mid 60s. We haven't seen the 60s in a while, and we might get closer to 70 as we wrap up the end of the weekend. So that's going to be well deserved after all the chilly weather we've been dealing with. So let's take a look at future scan, what we got for the next 48 hours. We have a few light rain showers out there today. Most of those rain showers are farther off to the east. It will clear out as we head into tonight and into tomorrow, but tomorrow will be kind of same thing as today. We'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies, a few rain showers, but again, most of those rain showers will be farther off to the east, and after that, it clears out as we head into tomorrow night and into early Thursday. Thursday looks like a nice sunny day out there. So for the rest of the afternoon, again out there today, partly to mostly cloudy skies. An isolated shower is possible, mainly farther east you go. A bit breezy this afternoon, the winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Lakeshore temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s inland. As we head into tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies out there again tonight. A few isolated showers are possible. There is some potential for some frost, mainly in the deepest valleys. Again, temperatures in the low 30s tonight, upper 40s near the lakeshore, with gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. And now the 7-day forecast. As you can see, temperatures will be improving. We get some sunshine Wednesday, Thursday into Friday, and a few showers return for Saturday. But look at that, temperatures back in the upper 60s, closer to 70. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
It's not just what we say, it's what we do.
Local first. It isn't just our slogan. It's our mindset every single day. So whether you're watching our daily live streams or staying up to date with reports on our website and mobile app, you'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have one goal in mind: to always put the facts first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the Southern Tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Slow down. Slow down and move over. Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights. Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down. Slow down and move over. When you need help,
It's our job
to help you.
to save you.
Despite the danger. This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. A longtime area state senator will take the virtual stage this week as SUNY JCC's commencement speaker. Former State Senator Kathy Young is scheduled to present the keynote address during the college's virtual commencement ceremony on Friday. A longtime champion of the agricultural and economic development sector, she worked 20 years in New York State's legislature representing Western New York. Young stepped down as senator in 2019 to become the director of the New York State Center of Excellence for Food and Agriculture at Cornell Agritech. Now, SUNY JCC's virtual commencement ceremony will air on its website starting at 6 o'clock Friday, during which graduates will be recognized and have the opportunity to hear from Young and other guest speakers. The celebration will include more than 1,200 names of pending spring 2021 graduates, in addition to graduates who completed their degree in the summer or fall of 2019, as well as the spring, summer, or fall of 2020. Those graduates will also be given the opportunity to walk across the stage at the clock tower of the college's Cattaraugus County campus and on Saturday, or they can do it pondside at Jamestown Community College's campus on Sunday. Certainly exciting for them. Thanks so much for tuning in to WNY News Now. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. I know that was a big tradition that didn't happen last year at this time because a lot of people, Andrew, were forced to cancel those celebrations and not be able to have them. And my sister, a SUNY Fredonia grad this summer, was able, one of the few lucky ones, to walk across the stage virtually. We got to tune in via YouTube, and they're putting together a much bigger video there too. So it's great to see that students at SUNY JCC, not just from this year, but last year's graduates as well, can take part.
I wonder what they're going to do for the high school graduations last year, because I know last year they did like something at the football field, Strider Field, and then Falconer did something. I wonder if they're going to do something like that this year, or maybe they can get a few more people into the, because when they did it before, it was out at Chautauqua Institution, at least Jamestown High School. They always held their graduations out there, so I wonder if they can do something like that again this year, or if it's going to be at Strider Field.
Yeah, it would be nice, and I imagine a lot of them probably will be able to hold something, especially outside if the weather cooperates with them. Last year we streamed Falconers as kind of a public service to the community because there was a lot of people who weren't able to physically attend. Parents were allowed to stay in their vehicles and listen to it through like an FM low range signal, but it's not the same like you were to sit at the Regina or at Chautauqua if you're a Jamestown grad, where you're able to really see your son or daughter walk across the stage, take part in various festivities. A lot of times there'll be musical numbers, and sometimes the choir will sing, and then they'll have these speakers. So it was good to still have some sort of ceremony, and I would imagine this year, as everything opens up more and more, they'll be able to have more capacities and have people back to it. And I would hope next year at this time we could be back to something where you could hold in-person commencements, walking across the stage. And the virtual is nice because it does connect people, and I think that's the technology we've learned, but not always the same as being in person. So I think that's important to remember. And I know one of the things you do here at WNY News Now is when you do the weather over the weekend, you do all that virtually from your home, which isn't too bad. I guess we can't beat up virtual too much, right?
Well, it's nice that we have virtual, and even after COVID clears up, people will probably be using virtual stuff more too, and we're going back to work too in person. But virtual stuff is helpful.
Yeah, it definitely is. So, and one thing that I think is really helpful to get people back to this reopening is the weather forecast. And I know over the next couple of days, things are going to be slowly improving in the temperature department anyway, right?
We have a slow incline up there again today, around 50, but we get into the upper 50s tomorrow, and how about 60s for the end of the week and into the weekend, and we should have sunshine each day, so it's going to make it feel a little bit warmer out there than the wet snow we had on Sunday.
Oh gosh, when I saw that falling, I couldn't believe it. I was kind of shocked, but welcome to Western New York, right? I mean, this is, Mother Nature has that one final kick, and there it was. So. All right, Andrew, thank you. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. You can download it for free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. All you got to do is search WNY News Now. Of course, news continues 24/7 on our website and mobile app platform. We're back here tomorrow live at noon. Hope to see you then.